Christmas and happy holidays, y'all. We are back. I am Swizzy Colón, and this is Swizzy Says What I Noticed in Season 4 of Stranger Things. I've already done 1, 2, and 3, and so now we're finishing up before the Christmas premiere of Season 5, Volume 2 of Stranger Things. Correct. I already rewatched the season before Volume 1, and now, after everything that's come out after Volume 1, I decided to rewatch it, live tweet and thread it, and then read those to you all right here, right now. So we're going to jump right into it. I'm going to keep it right and tight because guess what? I'm massively behind schedule. I know. Surprise. So let's get this party started and swizzy right into it. Season 4, Episode 1, The Hellfire Club. Argyle is... I love that he's the first one. That's amazing. Argyle is a real one. Like, us Californians are the realest, as he's driving the Byers to school every day. Shaking my head at Elle while feeling for her at the same time. Lying to Mike via all the little letters. E1-negative. 39 overall. No sweetie pie. Ted. Oh, he says that to Mike as they're like, you need to be home by a certain time. And he's like, otherwise, no sweetie pie. Sassy. We love our sassy characters. I know that's right. Susie is too good for Dustin. Whoop, I said it. Steve supporting Robin from everything from boobies. As he's back on track, Steve is working through his stuff. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. S1 25 overall. Mike and Dustin are wrong for not supporting Lucas. Easier to move a game than a game. I'm going to come back to that. I swear, there's some kind of subtext about Angela the Evil choosing Helen Keller, the saint, for her school project. Because my heart for Elle in this scene, Angela is toxic AF. I get why he turns her down. But turning her down. Damn wheel. Damn. We get Kate Bush very early on with Max. Lucas really should get his best boy counter, even though he kind of dips into the negatives in the early half of the mid-season. We can find something you care about too. To Max. Love. Love Lou Max. Oh, I definitely forgot Dustin and Mike did ask Eddie to postpone their D&D game. So what I said one tweet ago. Null and void. Kudos, boys. Eddie really does lean into the bully creep vibes in the lunchroom. He's like, you know what? Since y'all been giving to me these years, I'm just going to give it first so y'all stay away. And I get that. Whoever sent Joyce that Russian package either knew or didn't know they gave a hound dog a new mystery to sniff into. I'm telling y'all. And I get a kick. Oh, gosh. And I get a kick that she calls her BFF Murray, who just got back from karate, as he tells us, to figure it out. The number one most desired girl in Hawkins? This dweeb Fred, a nickname I also had in high school, go figure, really is so obvious with his crush on Nancy. Mike goes to his sister and asks if she wants to join Hellfire. I don't know if we would have seen that in past seasons, Mike. That's just cute. Max's sarcasm to Dustin was elite. Her smiles here were giving. Chrissy and Eddie's scene is a masterclass in chemistry, and so sad they filmed it towards the end. Would they have rewritten it? No, because Chrissy needed to be the first one, but hey. Even with Elle's unusual upbringing, even she learned to lie to protect bullies. God bless Will for being by her side, too, in that scene. In the worst scene of secondhand embarrassment ever put to film. And I'll come back to that. What an intro for my Our Goat, You Can't Spell America Without Erica Sinclair. I'm feeling patriotic for the USA just because of her. And holding her own against Eddie and everything, she's like, we gonna play ball or what? Ironic, I know, because Lucas is the ball player. I know. Dustin and Erica. He rolls an 11 and loses. She rolls a 20 and wins. Her bro also wins the game at the same time as it. Calling it, Dustin dies in Season 5. Sinclairs win victory against Vecna and survive. Yeah, I disagree with people who don't feel later seasons of Stranger Things aren't scary. Vecna is literally a walking, ooey gooey skeleton with a haunting, heavy presence, bone-chilling, voice vibrato, footsteps, presence. You see that at night? No, ma'am. And bone-breaking effects? But otherwise, the only thing I can think of whenever I hear Chrissy wake up is the remix by the Gregory Brothers. So thank y'all for that. Season 4, Chapter 2, Vecna's Curse. Will's look of absolute delight waiting for Mike only to be crushed by the most awkward hug on Earth This season really is leaning into the Ock early on. I guess it's another Byler, but do I start doing negatives? Because he had a lot of. So the thing about Byler is that it's their interaction of them that speak to a potential romantic pairing. And so I'm not doing negatives as I'm thinking about this on the fly, simply because that's more for Elle's Malevin's relationship. But here, it really is a signal that something has changed on a fundamental level that is not synonymous to the other relationships like Lucas, Dustin, and Max. So it is added as BL1, 30 overall. Elle doing more lying. Hey, I have a bunch of friends. We're going to meet them tomorrow. Da, da, da. Will is clocking her at Woodford. Sassy Will Byers is back and doesn't even try. Mike is unable to say I love you in written form. E-2, negative, 40 overall. Murray also arriving at the same time in a taxi. Kids don't realize it. I love those kind of hijinks. I really should start a Swizzy sucker counter, as weird as that is. Just because those little things that are contrived, we love it. You know what? Watch Rat Race and you'll understand what I mean. Elle does more lying to Mike about her social life at Wrinklemania. E-3, negative, 41 overall. Mike doesn't deserve being lied to, as Will confronts Elle about it. Look at him, defending him even as he's ignoring him. L-2, 31 overall. The place the basketball boys were crashing at as they're having their hangover kickback was Benny's old diner. How have I not realized that on all the rewatches I've done for the past 3, 5, 7, 8 years? That's crazy. That's smart Stranger Things. Keep establishing that world of Hawkins and Lenore and Rocha. You're right. I'm not Jonathan. I'm present and accounted for. Okay, I kind of like Sassy Fred, even though he only lasts 2 episodes. And I see why the actor for the cop that uses Vecna to terrorize Fred was hired, because hot damn, sold it. Mike gets them to turn the music off and runs after Elle at the skating rink. So he tried. Maleficent definitely gets a point for that. E-4 plus 42 overall. To be clear, Jason, very annoying and off-putting to every fiber of my being, is a gang leader. And the way he riles up the basketball team is gangland material. Not enough people are saying it. Nancy tries to talk to the lady in RV as she's questioning everyone about what happened with the Chrissy death. The same RV they end up stealing later in the season. Like I said in the last video, seeds planted, seeds grown. We love to see it. Mike clocking that Will was moping, rolling his eyes, even though Will said, you were ignoring me and I was third wheeling all day. Interesting contrast, as he was clearly paying attention, even as he goes into, we're just friends. Friends. She's my girlfriend. But you don't just ignore your friend like that. BL3, 20, 32 overall. I hate bullying in this Wrinklemania scene. They got it on film. I hope they don't delete that, because that... Bullies just don't do it. You may get a roller skate to the face. And some people might not defend you, because just no violence, including verbal violence against other people. It really is that simple. And we haven't seen this in a minute. Mike's, what did you do? What did you do to Elle after she does the roller skate to the face to Angela? No comment. It does yield a comparison to Brenner's, what have you done? What have you done? So that is not a positive point for Malevolent, because as Tony Stark says, not a good look. E-5, negative, 43 overall. 2 Qs. Q1. Are the locations for Vecna's kills truly east, south, west, north? Because I want to see a Hawkins map and where those locations are. Because Chrissy and Fred's death are right next to each other, right? Because if he's going running through the woods from the trailer park and ends up at the road, 2 miles at most. I mean, it always gets night so quick in this show, so you never really know the passage of time. But it just, in the end, we'll see it. It's like. But here, I just don't think it's implied. I'm sorry. I don't. That's my opinion. That is my opinion. Q2. Did Hop jump through the upside down and land in Russia? Or did he hop into the gate and end up in the upside down and then the Russians got him out? No, it's the former because we see it. But I just thought the upside down was isolated to Hawkins. So it was just confused. Season 4, Chapter 3, The Monster and the Superhero. Just to remind everyone, these 2 dudes were basically in a fight while the dude in the center was trying to rescue his girlfriend. So why is he with him and not her? E-6, negative, 44 overall. and BL-4, 33 overall. I'm sorry, but this scene, pacing, writing, delivery, it's all just so funny to me.
Yeah, it's one of those.
Still not oversaturated with Murray, and the kicker is how Mike,
You know what? I'm not sure.
no comfort instinct for Elle at all.
Anyway, she looks like she's gonna be fine.
She didn't look fine.
I love it. Alpha for her, obviously. And Murray finishing with a, I still don't know who this is regarding Argyle. Like, bitch, you're the new one to them. Excuse me, but you did ask and you should get an answer. Argyle Murray adventures? I agree. Mike the next morning brings her egos and tries to empathize with Elle regarding bullying. You knew I've been bullied all my life. You could talk to me. We were doing letters. Like, what? Why did you think I needed you? Blah, 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 blah. E-7 plus. But then she dismisses him, says, no, it's completely different. You can't understand. And chastises him for viewing her as a monster. E-8 negative. He returns with a favor. Oh, he returns the favor with a, you're crazy for thinking that. And another, him being unable to say, I love you moment and argument by Elle. E-9 negative 47 overall. Not Joy saying, like, this plane is really going to crash on the plane with Murray. Okay, foreshadowing Stranger Things. It loves its humorous, ironic foreshadowing. And I'm a sucker for it. Not starting that counter. Also, she really pulled 40,000 like that. Excuse me, mama, you're a struggling single mom with 3 kids. How? I know Jonathan works, but whatever. I've done sales and wanted to run away too at a moment's notice. But clearly she's making coin from it, so maybe I gotta reconsider. People really out here saying, Jason isn't a villain. He's the hero from his perspective, what he knows. No. This is why a rewatch is so valuable. Jason draws first blood assaulting Eddie's bandmates. Unjustified. Cancelled. Hashtag canceled. P.S. Lucas fumbling, throwing his friends under the bus, and narking on them? So gross. Glad I didn't start the Lucas counter. Even though at the end. Robin. I don't have a license. Steve. Why? Robin. I'm poor? As Mac tries to drive his car again, and he's still scarred from season 2. So Robin nominates herself to go with Nancy, breaking up Scoop Troop Part 2 without Erica. Can't have that. And gives us a new partner dynamic. Go girls. Even though Nancy and Dustin think that Steve is dating Robin. Even though Steve was ready to protect Nancy. The triangles are triangle-angling. Am I really the only one that felt show creators applied or could have easily made it out to be set up that since all of the Vicks went to Counselor Kelly, very beautiful woman, by the way, that she was in cahoots with Vecna or something? I still felt that way on this third rewatch. I really did. And I feel like others agree with me. So let me know if that's true. Glad she wasn't. Like, let her help. Also, let Mr. Clark, who didn't show up this season. So sad. Season 4, Chapter 4. Dear Belay. Erica has returned! Painting D&D figures. I clocked that. Yes, I did. Erica's mom said, I said, get the door. Reminds me exactly of Frozone's wife when she says, I'm the greatest good you're ever gonna get. Real ones know. Jason. Lucas home? Erica. Negative. Proceeds to close the door. Unbothered queen. What is it? Unbothered, unbought, and unbossed. J. We were supposed to hang out. E. I see he's taking a step down from Max. Savage Killer Queen. J. Know where he is? No, but I've been covering for him for 2 days. Tell him he owes me $10 a day plus DPR, which is 7.4% every day he doesn't cash in. At this rate, he's going to buy me a Nintendo. We don't deserve her. How do people get tired of her? Not me. She's my goat for a reason. Max taking the initiative to write If I Die letters to friends and family. Like, we see Max's family the least. You know I am obsessed with the mother. And you'll see why. But she writes one to grandma, to her uncle, and to her mama, in addition to all her friends, including Steve. I don't think Nancy got one, but girl, we love you. And this elaborate vision with her mom, I was heartbroken that it wasn't real because she was giving her mom such a nice hug. Y'all, I know I love this mother and daughter pairing. I just want them to be all right and prospering. In Robin's epic tirade to the Penhurst Mental Hospital director, that works. Go girl power. She mentions going to summer camp in 1978. Tell me I know my movies. because I immediately thought of Fear Street 1978, which this has to be an Easter egg to, because Sadie Sink, aka Max, starred in that movie. Y'all ain't slick. I will gobble up those eggs more than the real eggs in my fridge. Also, we learn that music serves as a positive stimulus during this scene. Exactly what we'll see in just a few. P.S. Why did Victor Creel's eyes have to look so gross? He needs medical attention. Clean them up. Thanks. Sorries. Hawkins isn't the same without you. And I feel like I lost you. Easily flow from Michael. And vice versa from Will with Will saying, I didn't say it. And it's always up to us, isn't it? Responded with a, you didn't have to. And, yep. Mike even admits, I feel like I was focusing on Elle and not enough on you. And let's be a team. Good friends. Best friends. BL-5 and 6, 34 through 35 overall. All sandwiched between one of the best action scenes in the series. No wonder Mike makes Will cry. Regarding Victor Creel's flashback, Henry Creel, the actor, looks too young to be in high school. Sorry for shadows. I clearly pushed out of my memory because how super metal is it that one of, spoiler, like my videos haven't been, that Henry makes his father see visions of the burning baby carriages that you hear the baby wails and cries from during the World War II bombing campaign he initiated. That's horrific. So many foreshadowing clues with Henry. Victor Creel still believes it was a demon, knows nothing of his son's doings. Q3. Victor implies it was an entity living in the house that triggered it, but we know 'twas Henry. But why wait till he moved in? Like, what was the trigger is what I'm really asking. Because from what I know of First Shadows, there was something both of a boat that his father transported to, and then a cave in the western United States. So was Hawkins just that terrible of a small town? Don't know. Q4, why attack his family? Was it part of his ultimate plan? Well, he says later, I might remove this Q, that his mom was clocking him as the evil entity, so who knows. Max's Vecna attack scene. Steve is the one to decide to check on Max after enough time. And Steve tells Dustin to radio Nanbin, Nancy and Robin, where they learn from them that music is activating part of the brain that other stimuli can't, and it's a lifeline back to reality. These two decisions by him save her life. S1, 25 overall. And Robin being in tune with the music. We see you season 5, rockin' Robin. P.S. Tell me that's not the same denim jacket as from season 1, episode 4. I know other people have clocked it, but come on, people. Evidence is right in the face. Even Vecna says, what are you doing here? In the red spiky palace, mind palace. We know that the previous victims didn't see that, so it seems season 5 wasn't the first time Max went hopping into Vecna's memories without his knowledge. And it's so emotional, the Kate Bush scene. Murray is all of us. I don't like him. Speaking of Yuri. Just realizing out loud now that they rhyme. Clearly it was cold because fully aware Murray would have checked the damn drink. Because that means Hopper escaped only to get pulled back in. And he does that another time by choice. Later in the season, this Russian plot, I comment on it so little because I have so little to say. It's like action movie territory, which means you just go with the flow. Like there's not deep analysis or character building or theory crafting. So have fun on that ride. Season 4, Chapter 5, The Nina Project. Ted, milk us for everything we're worth. Dustin, okay, will do. Proceeds to grab more food. They really are two sides of the same coin. Will better watch out. Hawkins got a new artist in town with Max Mayfield. Just in time for another got it put it together scene. This time figured out by Nancy. Joyce would have been so proud. Exploring the abandoned Creel home. Steve, where'd you get that? Dustin, do you need to be told everything? I know the writers put that in on purpose for us fans. Listen, if you're a veteran of Lost, I get why writers will put that in. Dusty is so sassy, but love their banter between him and Steve. Plus, they did apologize to each other for different reasons this season, so they both get points. Steve for saying that he would punch his teeth out, causing him to look like he did when he was younger. Not cool. Okay, sorry. And then Steve, like, putting him in his place in the house and being like, yo, you need to chill. And Dustin does. And he's like, okay, sorry. These platonic bro stories are very different than what do you know? Look at this. More shared looks between the boys. With a subsequent chat where Will says, maybe it's hard to open up between two people that care about each other. You're afraid they may not know the truth. Remember the apology scene that Mike just did to Will? Very different. Very different. And they're holding hands while on the phone? Mm-hmm. Wow, William. Could you be any more obvious? BL-7 and 8, 36 through 37. Episode ends with one of the first of many more very cool transitions. Season 4, Chapter 6, The Die. Glad we got to visit Susie's chaotic household. Just count this as another notch on the Swizzy sucker counter. Such a well-orchestrated mess. Standouts being Argyle meeting his queen, and the filmmaker and the actress, Tabitha. That director is giving it all. Robin confronting Nancy about her relationship with Jonathan. Everyone is pushing her and Steve together and officially becoming friends. Us anti-Jancy folks and pro-Nancy and pro-Stancy folks are being fed this season. Yum, yum, yum. The new chief was hella negligent, letting annoying arse Jason hijack the meeting. I swear that man just gets on the mic and is like, oh, I have something to say, and it's so important. I love his fate at the end of the season. Proud OFC of Erica for defending Hellfire Club as a club for nerds. A self-identifier she low-key did with pride. Look at her character growth. First look between a Henderson and Sinclair parent. Only took 4 seasons. The funny cop is back, curfewing and coming for personal records as necessary. This was his season to shine. He sure did. He sure did. Finally, we see the parents planning. About time, with how long their kids have been friends. Hold this image in your thoughts and prayers. And then they use each of Susie's siblings' disparate activities in a coordinated manner to distract their father so they can use his computer to find the Nina project. I'm a sucker, I'm telling you. And Will so naturally builds off Mike's story, creating a positive feedback narrative between them. That's synergy. You don't see that with other couples on the show. BL-9, 38 overall. I've never liked how the Hawkins lab flashbacks flattened the powers that the Kaylee episode had expanded in the lore. Everyone just has telekinesis. Great. No individualized ones like Callie versus Elle had. Elle was also even bullied in the lab. No wonder she was used to Angela and her little tyranny group. It's bullshit. The way she backed down earlier and was like, the teacher was like, Elle, did they do this? And she's like, no. And then you see in the scene, these telepath cycles were gonna kill her. I'm glad she's surviving. I don't know if she's so. I need to do my ranking. Will she survive season 5? I do not know. 1. Steve sacrifices himself, a former swim captain, to check the Watergate. Good one, Dustin. And almost dies in the process. S-3, 26 overall. Nancy, we see you looking, girl. Robin, see Nancy, noticing Nancy, noticing Steve from across the boat. What a supportive friend. Chill, Max. Everyone diving in after him, being led by Nancy. I love the solidarity. Nancy, not just good with guns, but oars too. Protect your friend, girl. Your friend. Okay, teens. Street Fighter heroes over here. They sure were. Last 2 were part of season 4, chapter 7. Massacre at Hawkins' lab. Actually, the scene with the coppers and interrogating the kids, I realized Max's mom isn't there. Where is Miss Mayfield? Probably working 9 to 9. Gotta support her baby. So sad. I wish she was more involved. And Erica finally interrogating her fellow kids so she can finally get into the mystery. And her and Dustin are really helpful audience surrogates and sounding boards for each other because she's like, why nerd? And he's like, I resent your tone, but that's a good question. The kids also steal from Holly. With Lucas and Dustin were ratchet for that, but Erica's like, here's some Skittles, rainbow. Someone needed to treat Holly right, and look at Erica. Watch Erica, y'all, because then the best scene. I'm obsessed with all their reactions, but especially like Erica's beaming, screaming. Nancy, figuring out the Upside Down, is trapped in the past, November 6, 1938. With the note cards Steve helped her study with. And we get a flashback of her and Steve. Did we get any flashbacks of her and Jonathan? Not that I recall. Stancy. Full steam ahead. Choo, choo, choo. And this transition is simply the best. Can't compare to all the rest. Stranger Things at its best. Joyce's hug to Hopper when she finally sees him. Like, the Russia stuff is so literally out there, but it has some good character beats and character moments. None with Yuri, obviously. And that other guy I don't even name, but gotta love him. Get you a friend like Joyce who will abandon her family, pay tens of thousands of dollars so she can fly across an ocean in a plane crash, survive the harshest cold in Russia, and infiltrate a Russian prison for you. Get you a good friend, a best friend, like that. The greatest part about one's plans is when he made 11 think that helping him escape was her idea. Chess. Brilliant. Vecna. Machiavelli. Other masterminds. Oh, Dr. Moriarty. And the way the reveal is layered, Elle remembering while Vecna is possessing Nancy and telling her all, is really powerful. And I remember when I first watched that, most people, that hit. It was like, people like were putting it together. Again, me, I just watch a show and am in it, just absorbing everything at the first time. I am not theorizing like, ugh. So I remember that hit, that reveal. One is Vecna. It's one of the most effective retcons in history, unless this was truly planned since season 1. Season 4, Chapter 8, Papa. Byler Van Ride. Will, Elle can take us to Vegas, and then we can become rich, play D&D the rest of our lives? Will is kind of being a little brave, hiding behind these facades, especially a facade of Elle, an 11 toes down facade. But that season 3 callback from the rain scene, Mike admits he has a needy complex. A complex of feeling needed, and he's just human. While Superman landed on his doorstep. M-1, 15 overall. He also recognizes Elle met him by chance. This is very important for the love confession scene later. He's like, yeah, I'm just like no one. I just met her. It wasn't fate or anything. E-10-48 overall. Will had time to take that painting while on the run. Damn, man. Amazing. Mike lights up, so I assume that he loves it. But then Will lies that Elle asked him to make it. With Will doubling down is like, nope, you're the heart of the group. You make her not feel like a mistake, because she always feels like a mistake, and she'll always need you. You see why so many fanfics are out there. Damn. BL-9 through 10, 38 through 39 overall. And then the line is like, needs you, always will. I'm sorry, I can't hear any will in the show. Like, oh, we will do that. This will happen. Of course it will. Without thinking of will. Byler's endgame. That's my theory. And then he cries out the window. Heartbreaking. I remember Rain Confession. I get it. Everything is so intentional in this scene. With these looks. Shared looks. After Nancy tells all of the Hawkins crew, still in yesterday's clothes, by the way, with half of them having dove into the water. That's nasty. Rank, murky, musky. Squelch. We get this cute character beat of Eddie trusting Steve, officially saying steady a sail.
Thank you, big boy.
To drive. And I thought he pecked him in the cheek here. Maybe that was a blooper or an outtake or behind the scenes, but bro, that messed my mind up when I did not see the cheek kiss. Whoa. And Duster being Hopper Jr. here. Steve, drive! And the RV ride leaves us with plenty of relationship tea, as Steve admits his 6th kid RV summer fantasy, acknowledging the practice of his Scooby-Doo gang adventures to Nancy, which she already thanked him all the way back in season 2 or 1. I think it was 2. It was 2 for his babysitting. So she knows it. Also bursting with Lumac's cuteness as Lucas and Max are starting to reconnect. And he's like, you're gonna, happy memories, da 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 da. And she's like, yeah, ha ha ha. And he's like, so do you have a happy memory? And she's like, yeah. And he's like, am I in that memory? And she's like, that's presumptuous of you. But yeah, you are. Sometimes I hate romance and sometimes I love it. Go Lumax, go. Man, these character beats are really chicken noodle soup for the soul. Even though, why'd they spread out so much? So this is in reference to everyone getting ready after, oh no. I took a shot of the army supply store and was going to do a comparison, but did not end up tweeting it. Damn. So anyways, this is after that scene, and they're all in the field, and they're all like spread out like football fields away from each other. Nancy and Max are saw bonding, love new groupings, always cute. Dustin, never change Henderson from Eddie. The Sinclair siblings showing up for each other. Lucas calling her out, being like, you show up to every basketball game of mine. And she's like, parents made me. And he's like, they can't make you do shit. Just the facts. Robin acknowledging to Steve her love life is low stakes compared to the end of the world. And she's right. But for us viewers who are going through our own end of world apocalypses, it is chicken noodle soup for the soul. Correct. And that's how I made that thread full circle. Now that Papa is officially dead, Elle went on a necessary journey throughout the whole Nina project. Again, if there's not much mystery, character build, well, I guess she is character build, but like it's so like this is what's happening. It's so expositionary. I wasn't going to comment on it, so I'm commenting on it here. Papa is a complicated figure, not a monster or superhero as he had told her earlier. Glad she didn't give him the satisfaction he was asking for. I liked Dr. Owens as a character from season 2 through now, and that they added him at all, and now back in the season. Argyle being a necessary character for the Cali crew. He really came in clutch so many times, let alone driving, saving their asses from the military that were killing people, and then the poor torture of that other FBI agent, as well as, hey, Nina may not be a building. Think, expand your mind. Also discovering the tire tracks. He's like not most valuable player, but like top valuable, like upper threshold valuable player. He really is. Cute reunion. But why is Will constantly love triangling it up? Bro, step to the left, step to the right. Get out of the shot. But it's intentional. Okay, so the cute reunion is E-11 plus 49 overall. And yes, Mike's face does change after seeing Will, like he's conflicted about something. BL-11, 40 overall. Season 4, Chapter 9, The Piggyback. With Nancy taking Mike's role of leading and reviewing the plan with everyone, and as the members move into place, Steve gets another cool move moment. And I'm here for it. As always, I'll applaud for you, Steve.
Does he want us to do applaud?
I can't believe the framing of the shot like this didn't hit me over the head of the symbolism any previous time I've seen it before. Like Elle, single woman, thinking about two dudes off to the side who are joint as a team of friends, good friends, best friends. Come on, people. BL-12, 41 overall. Steve thanks Nancy for giving him a necessary tumble after he relays a cute story of him crawling backwards at first as a baby. So he thanks her, he cites that her breaking up is a necessary tumble for his character and personal development. But then he says he wishes that he had met a girl that could have done him that all for him, so that he would have been ready for Nancy instead of her breaking up and going off with Jonathan. This is why I don't watch reality TV, because I am loving this relationship drama, because they decided to make the one I was rooting for in Nancy's eyes, even though he also then admits that the RV fantasy was always about her. The last part is complicated territory, because I just feel like that's a little bit like of emotional manipulation. I mean, if you really dive into it, most social interactions are. It's very, very, very hard to be like purely genuine with anyone. But I would rather her be independent. And she literally says, I don't want 6 kids. Or implies it. But Steve is back on his game. That is clear. All those other dates have been working for him. Malevolent missed each other and tried to talk before Argyle interrupted with delicious pineapple pizza. Oh, I'm going to read this verbatim. Reel it do of Argyle low key. It was a long night. Oh yeah. E-12 plus 50. Jonathan making Will cry because of a confiding comfort session. At least Jonathan is a good brother, because his entire season 4 arc is literally just saying, we gotta go. Clock it. I should have done we gotta go counter. Vecna is dirty for using Lucas to taunt Max for wanting Billy dead. This is Max's season, y'all, and Lumax is that couple. Can't wait till Vecna is vanquished. Also enjoy the full circle moment of Elle by Max's side in the BVMS, when last season Max was by Elle's side as she was spying on the others. P.S. Hate Andy for attacking a little girl. Hashtag free Erica. Another Sinclair lookout, by the way. Q3. Where have the Demobats been this entire time before the season? Just tell me that they were the eggs in season 1 and I'll be fine. Because them coming out of nowhere is unacceptable when Vecna's little tell-all to 11 is like, there are all these creatures that have been here in Dimension X for so many years. So with bats. I don't think Eddie... This is for you, Chrissy Munson. needed to sacrifice himself. Beautiful moment. He did not run away. You did have your hero moment, but you could have just escaped with Dustin, as Dustin was back on the right side up. Crit. Erica says crit hit as she kicks Andy in the balls. Deserved. It's just everything out her mouth. I swear, the writers. Thank you. Thank you. Enough. Another one. And Lucas fighting Jason back and admitting he never should have knocked to try to join his group. You're right. Kapow indeed. So in contrast to Dustin's theory, it's Vecna who influenced the Mind Flayer. It is not that Vecna is the general of the Mind Flayer. It seems that Vecna is the ultimate bad. Humans are the ultimate bad. Cosmic horror just apparently exists out there. So when Elle cast him there at the massacre of the Hawkins lab, which was framed very similarly with the same effects as the Demogorgon in the end of season 1. It seems to be an answer to my question that him getting sent to Dimension X and then the Upside Down all happened before she touched the Demogorgon in the BVMS space. So that all happened after the massacre of the lab. So she was still there because she didn't escape. The hole that Henry/001 showed her was how she escaped later. Okay, that's starting to make sense. I still don't know when the Upside Down was created, so that's still Q7, but it's starting to make sense. Because turning the ephemeral cosmic cloud into a spider, I hate spiders. Henry is such a twisted child, and they must want to draw parallels between Henry and Mike. Henry and Will, for a reason, just basically drawing the same images. Mike's I love you speech to Elle, you think it would be Pro 11, but all the beats that should have mattered, I love you. The day my life started, the day in your woods, which is an insult to Will, by the way, because that's the same day he went lost. That's rude. None of them worked at loosening the vines or overcoming. It's only after she looks at Max and he says, fight, 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 that she actually is able to overcome that. So her and Max's, their platonic bonds are very beautiful and strong. E-13 negative 51 overall. Kudos to Mike for trying. Because it is a pro Byler moment, because Will, as he saw Mikey Boy was struggling, encouraged him and was like by his side the entire time, rubbing his back, being like, you're the heart, remember that, say whatever you need to say what you need to say. BL-13 42 overall. This show is a roller coaster. The biggest highs were felt with Murray and his flamethrower, the teens flambeing and Nancy walking down wheelering Vecna, and Hopper and his sword. To the lowest lows, Henderson being there for Eddie's last moments, where Eddie says, watch out for them. Started, right? And then Lucas crying over Max. And the song, I tell you, the song they use, I break every time he calls up Erica to get the doctor. I literally had to be like, yo, I know she lives, like, chill. And then Dustin comforting Eddie's uncle. I love it. I love a good roller coaster. I do. Because I also loathe time skips in disaster media. Still looking at you, Fear the Walking Dead. Because only 22 people died. 22? What, because it's double 11? The mind sees. I don't need a flare to open this mine. More people died, 30 by the way, in the Starcourt Mall fire. Be effing for real, Stranger Things. At least Jason was one of them. And hey, you gotta take our W's where we can. I mean, 2 days isn't that much, but still, like, I want to see the aftermath. I want to see, like, the Dante's Peak driving through. I'm sorry, that is who I am. Je suis Swizzy. This scene's lighting, doing crazy work. Like, this is downright angelique. BL-14, 43 overall. And Elle closing the door telepathically after looking at them? Like, girl, I don't know if you're mad at Mike because he lied, or you're jealous that he's talking to Will because maybe you saw something, or you're just disappointed in yourself that you couldn't, quote-unquote, win. But either way, you're unable to confide in Mike after not talking to him for 2 days on the road. E-14, negative 52 overall. And her spinning the bottle for Max. What is it, L-Max? Their relationship, hella cute. I really do sentimentally connect with all the reunions and somber tone at the end of the season. It really feels like our Infinity War. And the scene, all the canon couples are together. Interesting. BL-1544. And they really had us thinking, like, look at this shot. Like, the clouds are bursting. They really had us thinking it was about to go down and be way more urgent than an 18-month time gap and metal plating over all the cracks turned out to be. So I can't wait to see what happens tomorrow, because hopefully I post this by then. And that's a wrap. Thank you all for joining me. Merry Christmas Eve, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, and happy holidays to everyone, and happy Stranger Things Eve to all those who celebrate, to my fellow strangers. So I thank you all for joining me. I hope this video was entertaining. Here are the totals for everything we tracked this season. We tracked a lot less, unfortunately. It really came down to Byler, Maleven, and a bit of Steve. I feel like I missed a Steve or two. Some cues, but that was cute. So if you have any corrections, commentary, feedback, write it in the comments. Feel free to subscribe. I've had a blast doing this. I've been Swizzy Colón. This has been Swizzy Says. Thanks for joining. Stay tuned.